Deborah Helen Sutter is 64 years old, mother of 2 adult children, now in the Fort Bend County Jail.
It's been 20 months since 64-year-old Deborah Sutter's mugshot first flashed on the local news. The volunteer was charged with molesting a teenage boy in custody at the Fort Bend Juvenile Detention Center. The sheriff said then he was looking for more victims.
If there's anyone out there that knows anything about Ms. Sutter and involved in any other activities, we ask you to call the sheriff's office.
The horror for that young boy was repeatedly documented on security cameras as it happened.
He has been diagnosed with severe depression. He's also been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Hi, I'm Fort Bend County Sheriff Troy Nels.
Sheriff Nels is now one of those accused of refusing to help this young boy get treatment once he cried out for help. Nels is running for Congress. And now it looks like Fort Bend County taxpayers, you folks at home, could be among the victims of this still emerging scandal. And the silence from the politicians is deafening. That's why it was time for us to tell you what they won't. Sex scandals are nothing new at the place they hold kids in trouble in Fort Bend. An audit documented, quote, at least 10 cases of sexual abuse harassment in just 12 months. We pay for so many cameras, so much security to prevent all that. Yet a lawsuit claims Deborah Sutter started sexually abusing the boy when he was just 15. 3 or 4 times a day, twice weekly, for over a year.
I really think you need to talk to the county attorney about it. Okay.
It gets worse. When the young boy asked to see an outside doctor, detention officials supposedly told him, quoting, "You're getting released soon. You can see a doctor when you get out." Really?
Well, I don't know, I can't comment on that because it is still under our county attorney's, So honestly, I think I defer that question to county attorney.
We have a lawsuit that's pending, and we are not going to expand beyond what I just said, sir.
We all know how chatty county lawyers can be. Do the videos still exist?
And we'll follow the procedure to determine if they do.
So you don't even know if they exist?
I don't know, sir.
Have you asked?
Probably an attorney in my office probably has.
Activist Quanell X was watching our interview and gave Cordes an earful.
If this was a white kid with a black perpetrator, you have a whole lot to say. You all would have this totally different. It's a black kid, and you don't give a damn about little black kids getting molested in Fort Bend County. Bottom line, don't lie about it.
If you knew me, you wouldn't say that, sir.
Well, I'm listening to you right now, and based on what I hear coming out your mouth, that's exactly.
Race? Did I mention
You don't
race?
have to because you never do. Y'all never do, but that's exactly what it's about. And I know for a fact, just listen to how you buck dance and dilly-dally around the questions, you're not sincere about the victim in this case.
How is it that someone gets molested 3 or 4 times a week for 2 years, and nobody here wants to discuss with the public what they're doing to fix it? Taxpayers haven't been told about this lawsuit either. Fort Bend County is suing their own insurance company over this same scandal.
We have a disagreement on the terms of the policy.
That $5 million Lloyd's of London insurance policy would normally be used to pay the financial cost of the Sutter scandal, except the insurance company says they weren't told in time. Fort Bend taxpayers haven't been told they could be on the hook for the whole thing. But the bottom line is the folks in Fort Bend County are the ones that are going to pay the tab on this deal. Don't you think they have a right to know what steps you guys took once you knew this guy was being molested all the time? Why isn't that a fair question?
Sir, that'll come out as part of the trial.
Well, why should people have to wait for
in
that?
federal court. Because the lawsuit needs to be tried in court, sir.
But it's about to get a lot messier in public. One of the defendants is blowing the whistle.
I was a youth specialist there.
Landon Sams worked with a group of 8 kids in the juvenile detention center. The teenager at the heart of the Sutter scandal was one of them.
He was doing what he had to do to get out.
Instead, the young boy became a victim of Deborah Sutter, and now for the first time, testimony that it was no secret. So you heard Deborah Sutter tell at least one supervisor, "I'm here for my conjugal visit."
Yes, sir.
And You at the time did not know what a conjugal visit was.
I didn't. I thought it was just like a regular, like, oh, it's a mentor, it's a regular visit.
And that's not all. In a sworn affidavit obtained by Dolcefino Consulting, Sams recounts Sutter laughing about her visits with a supervisor. Quoting, "I'm here to see my boyfriend," she supposedly said. "He's going to run away with me to Canada when he gets out of here." Why is Sams going public now? He says he doesn't want Fort Bend County politicians to get away with blaming this on low-level employees.
You know, he deserves justice, but you trying to push this off on employees like, oh, this is your problem.
Kids matter. Kids matter. This is very, nobody feels good about this situation.
And that's why it's time for the politicians to come clean before it happens again.
So we put taxpayers' money at risk when you talk about things out of turn.
So the public doesn't need to know because you're really protecting them. That's what you do.
I don't know how to answer that question.